Welcome back. Very good morning to all. Hope you are all fine and doing well. Yes, you all know that we are dealing with the concept of reflection of light and spherical mirrors in detail. And in the last class, we have dealt with combination of spherical mirrors. As we are familiar with the image formation while dealing with the combination of plane mirrors, we have extended the topic to discuss image formation in the case of combination of spherical mirrors. Yes, I have told you, when an object is placed in between two spherical mirrors, the image obtained due to one spherical mirror will act as object for another spherical mirror. And I have given one numerical example to you also in the last class. Now, in this particular class, we are going to discuss about a small point like cutting of a spherical mirror. Here it is a small point that we are going to discuss in this class, which is cutting of a spherical mirror. Means we are going to cut the spherical mirror. Yes. In the last class, I have told you one important point. The focal length of a spherical mirror is independent of the medium in which it is placed. You take a spherical mirror whose focal length is 20 centimeters, so that its radius of curvature will be 40 centimeters because r equal to 2l. The spherical mirror is placed in air, or the spherical mirror is taken to place in water, or the spherical mirror is placed in some other liquid. Wherever you place, its focal length remains the same. Since its radius of curvature cannot be influenced when you have shifted from one medium to another medium. That's the reason why I have told you very clearly, the focal length of a spherical mirror do not depend on the object distance, do not depend on the image distance, as it is 1 by v plus 1 by u is equal to 1 by f. Don't think that f depends on u and v, which is a misconception. When you have placed an object in front of the mirror at a distance u, as per its focal length, its image position will be decided. But f do not depend on u and v. F depends only on r, radius of curvature of the spherical mirror. That's the reason why the focal length of a spherical mirror is independent of the medium in which it is placed. Similarly, if you are going to cut a spherical mirror, can it influence the focal length of the spherical mirror? Let us discuss. You know very well, while taking a spherical mirror, first of all I told you to imagine a glass sphere and cut a portion of the glass sphere so that whatever the spherical portion that you have obtained is going to be silvered on one side, either on convex side or on concave side. If you have silvered on convex side, then you can get a concave mirror. If you have silvered on concave side, you will get a convex mirror, of course. So here it is concave mirror you are seeing. So this spherical surface is a part of sphere which has some radius. I told you. Of course, center you can represent as C. I told you, the center of the sphere from which the spherical portion has been taken is called the center of curvature. And the radius of the sphere from which the spherical portion has been taken is called the radius of curvature. P2C. So focal length is f is equal to r by 2. That's what I told you. This focal length depends on the radius of curvature. It is nothing but the radius of the sphere from which the spherical portion has been taken. You have learned this already. Now, this spherical mirror is going to be cut into pieces. For example, you see here. Now my spherical mirror, here it is, there is a concave mirror, just for example, there is a concave mirror. and here is the principal axis, pole, center of curvature. The distance from the pole to the center of curvature is called radius of curvature, you know that. Now this concave mirror is taken into two pieces like this. Here there is one piece. Once look at the board. Here is one piece and here is another piece. Of course this is their original principal axis. So I have cut the concave mirror in this way into two pieces. You can see my concave mirror is cut into two pieces along with the principal axis. Because I could not cut it perpendicular to principal axis, of course, I have cut the spherical mirror, concave mirror, along with the principal axis into two pieces. So what? Here what you need to remember, when you have cut the spherical mirror into two pieces along with the principal axis, remember the center of curvature position remains same for both of them. The position of center of curvature remains same like earlier. For example, here this center of curvature is at a distance x units from the pole, still the center of curvature will be at the same distance. For example, here it is the radius of curvature r, here also radius of curvature remains r. I told you, the line joining center of curvature to the curved surface on any point, we call it as radius of curvature. So here is the line joining the curved surface to the center of curvature, you call it as radius. That radius of curvature remains same. So whenever radius of curvature remains same, then focal length of the original spherical mirror same as that of focal length of each piece. So my intention to tell you, when you have cut the spherical mirror along with the principal axis, then the radius of curvature remains the same, because its spherical nature cannot be affected when you cut the spherical mirror along the principal axis. So as the spherical nature is not being affected, radius of curvature remains the same. So cutting of a spherical mirror cannot influence the focal length of the spherical mirror. This is what you need to understand. Of course, as you cut the spherical mirror along the principal axis and the pieces remain same in their original position, this will be the common principal axis to both of them. This will be the common principal axis to both of them. If you have cut the spherical mirror and then separated away, then their principal axis will be different. Let me give you the clarity. Here, this is a spherical mirror whose focal length is f. 1 minute. Let me take an example of concave like earlier. Here it is a concave mirror whose focal length is f, and here is the principal axis, pole and center of curvature. Here is the principal axis. Now the spherical mirror is cut into two pieces along with the principal axis, but this time after cutting I am not going to let them stay there. Here one is taken vertically up, the other is taken vertically down. Means after cutting the spherical mirror along with the principal axis, the two pieces are displaced perpendicular to principal axis. I repeat, after cutting the spherical mirror into two pieces, the two pieces are displaced perpendicular to principal axis. So here is one piece and here is another piece. The two pieces are taken away perpendicular to the principal axis. In this case, I have let them stay there only after cutting, so that they have common principal axis. But when I have taken away perpendicular to principal axis, then this will be acting as the principal axis for this, and this will be acting as a principal axis for this. So they will have their own principal axis. I repeat, when the spherical mirror cut into two pieces along with the principal axis and then displaced, suppose one is taken x units, the other is taken y units away from the original principal axis. Then here this will be the principal axis for this piece and this will be the principal axis for this piece. So they will have their own principal axis. This is a point what you need to understand. So based on this, there will be some numerical applications. So if I am going to talk about the image position for an object placed in front of your spherical mirror, what about the image position if I am going to cut the spherical mirror? Yes, let us discuss those things. How will be the position of image can be affected when the spherical mirrors are taken away perpendicular to principal axis. If the two pieces are displaced along the principal axis, then how the image position changes. Let us discuss all the numerical part related to this. So first of all, what is the conclusion that you need to write? Cutting of a spherical mirror cannot influence the focal length of the spherical mirror. So the focal length of each piece remains the same even though spherical mirror cut into pieces. Next, when the spherical mirror cut into two pieces along the principal axis and the two pieces are taken away perpendicular to principal axis, then they will have their own principal axis. If the two pieces kept same after cutting along the principal axis, then they have common principal axis. This is what the conclusions that you have to learn from this diagrammatic representations. Why the focal length of a spherical mirror cannot change even on cutting? Because when you have cut the spherical mirror, the spherical nature cannot be affected, so that radius of curvature remains the same, so that focal length remains the same. Let us discuss a few numerical application part of this. Note down. Once look at this example here. There is a concave mirror. Here it is, a concave mirror. This is principal axis, pole, center of curvature, principal focus. Let me suppose its focal length is 10 centimeters. As it is concave mirror, its focal length is negative according to sign conventions. So there is a concave mirror whose focal length is 10 centimeters. Of course, its radius of curvature will be minus 20 centimeters. There is no doubt in that, because R is equal to 2F. Concave mirror radius of curvature is negative. Now here, an object is placed in front of this spherical mirror. An object is placed at 30 centimeters away from the spherical mirror. The object is placed 30 centimeters away from the spherical mirror. So once look at the data. There is a concave mirror of focal length at 10 centimeters. An object is placed at 30 centimeters in front of the concave mirror. Let me explain first where is the image position in this particular case. Yes, according to the formula, here I am doing 1 by V plus 1 by U equal to 1 by F. Then 1 by V. V we have to calculate image position. U equal to minus 30 according to sign convention, real object distance, equal to 1 by F equal to minus 10. So that 1 by V equal to, this minus 1 by 30 goes to that side, becomes plus, and already here minus 1 by 10. Then here 30 and 10, LCM will be 30. 30 here 3 times, 3 ones are 3, minus, here 30 3 times, 30 1 time, 1 ones are 1 here, minus 30 in 10 3 times, 3 ones are 3. So that here 1 by V equal to minus 2 by 30. That is V equal to minus 30 by 2. Therefore V equal to minus 15 centimeters. Image position. So this indicates that an image is obtained at 15 centimeters in front of this spherical mirror. At 15 centimeters. Here to here 15. Because you know this basic point, when the object is beyond center of curvature in front of a spherical mirror, its image will be in between C and F. Of course, real inverted diminished image. There is no doubt in that. This is at 15 centimeter. This is a usual calculation which you know. Now here, my point it is, if I am going to cut this spherical mirror, and those two pieces are taken away perpendicular to principal axis. Once look at this. This is original principal axis. Hope you are all following. This is original principal axis. Now here, these two pieces cut along with the principal axis and taken away perpendicular to the principal axis. This is one piece here, and here is another piece, so that both of them are taken away perpendicular to principal axis. Hope you are all following the figure. This is original pole of the mirror, this one. Now this mirror is cut into two pieces along principal axis. One is taken away by 2 centimeters. The other one is taken away by 1 centimeter. Of course, both are perpendicular to principal axis. Then this will be the principal axis for the first piece. And this will be the principal here. This will be the principal axis for the second piece. Of course, you suppose your object is kept same. Here object remains same, which is 30 centimeter away. But this will be the pole for the first one, and this will be the pole of the second one, of course. So I am cutting the spherical mirror into two equal pieces. Both are taken away perpendicular to principal axis. But one is taken away by 2 centimeter, the other one is taken away by 1 centimeter from original principal axis. So they will have their own principal axis. Suppose your object kept same at the same distance 30 centimeter. Object position has not disturbed. Then here you need to remember one thing. People, you may think this will be the object distance, which is wrong concept. Object distance means the horizontal distance of the object from the pole is called object distance. So for the first piece, shall I write here? For the first piece, object distance remains same, u equal to minus 30 centimeters. Because this is pole of the first piece. The horizontal distance of the object from the pole is called object distance, so which remains 30 centimeters. Even for the second piece, the object distance remains 30 centimeters. There is no doubt in that. And moreover, I told you the focal length remains same for both of them as that of the original piece. Means focal length remains as minus 10 centimeter for each piece, because as you cut the spherical mirror along with the principal axis, focal length remains the same. As object distance remains the same, focal length remains the same, image distance remains the same, which is 15 centimeters. There is no doubt in that. Then you may get surprised. Sir, this is just before cutting the spherical mirror. This is just after cutting the spherical mirror and displaced perpendicular to principal axis. Then what difference is there? Yes, coming to the point. Whenever the spherical mirror cut into two pieces and taken away perpendicular to principal axis, on keeping the object position same, then the interesting point here you need to learn, this 2 centimeter will be the size of object for the first piece. This 1 centimeter will be the size of object for the second piece. This is what you need to understand. You know, size of object, size of image. The perpendicular distance of object from the principal axis is called object size. So here, this is the principal axis. From the principal axis, here is the object. So the distance of the object perpendicular to the principal axis will be the size of the object. And here this is the size of the object. Next, second point. Shall I write here? Size of the object in this case is 2 centimeter, but here size of the object is 1 centimeter. And very interesting point, for the first piece, object is below the principal axis. That's why it is negative. For the second piece, object is above the principal axis. That's why it is positive. You know sign conventions? Above the principal axis positive, below the principal axis negative. In the case of the first piece, this is the principal axis and here is the object, means your object is below the principal axis. But for second piece, this is the principal axis, your object is above the principal axis. In the first case, object size is 2 centimeters, whereas in the second case, object size is 1 centimeter. The perpendicular distance of object from the principal axis. But as per sign conventions, as it is below the principal axis -2, as it is above the principal axis +1. This is the interesting point. Next, you have learned that your image will be at 15 centimeter. What type of image? Real inverted diminished, because as your object distance is beyond the center of curvature, your image will be real inverted diminished. What does it mean? Real means in front of the mirror. Diminished means image size will be less compared to object size. But still one more word is there. Inverted. Inverted means yes. Here your object is below the principal axis in the first case. So that your image will be at the same location. At the same location, but your image will be the above the principal axis. Because it's a real inverted diminished image. In the first case, your object is below the principal axis. The object falls below the principal axis. So image will be above the principal axis. At what distance? No doubt 15 centimeter away. No doubt. In the second case, your object is above the principal axis. So at the same location, but image will be below the principal axis. Like this. This is I2. Where this is I1. Of course, at what distance? Same, 15 centimeters. As the object position remains same like in the original case, image positions will remain same. But very interesting point, as their principal axis are different and the pieces are displaced perpendicular to principal axis, original principal axis, so that this is the size of object for the first piece, which is below the principal axis, so image will be above the principal axis. But in the second case, if object falls above the principal axis, so image will be below the principal axis. So this is the interesting point what you need to remember. If you wish to know the size of image in first case, here, this is size of image in the second case. Yes, you can, because you have a concept, size of image by size of object equal to minus V by U. That means the size of image by size of the object -2 in first case equal to minus V by U, minus V for minus 15, U for minus 30. Now these two minus cancel and here minus cancel. Here 15, 30 2 times, 2 gets cancelled, finally you will have 1. Means your size of image in the first piece is 1 centimeter. That to +1, because above the principal axis your image, that's why it is 1 centimeter. So size of image will be 1 centimeter above the principal axis. Similarly, in the second case, you can write a formula, size of image by size of object 1 centimeter equal to minus V by U, just like same, minus V minus 15, U minus 30. This is going to be minus cancel, this minus cancel, and here it is 2 times anyway. So minus 1 by 2 left, because here it is plus. So size of image equal to minus 1 by 2 centimeters. That minus indicates your image is below the principal axis in the second case, and it is minus 1 by 2 centimeters. Hope it is clear. So in the first case, size of object is 2 centimeter, but size of image is 1 centimeter. In the second case, size of object is 1 centimeter, size of image is 1 by 2 centimeter. Have you observed in both cases magnification remains the same? Here image reduced to half, Here also image reduced to half. In the first case, object size 2 centimeter, image size 1 centimeter. In the second case, object size 1 centimeter, image size 1 by 2 centimeters. Means the magnification is 1 by 2, reduced to half. Because as V and U remain the same, M value remains the same. So in the first case, whatever the magnification, in the second case also magnification will be same. Because M equal to minus V by U. But only the thing that you need to understand, as object size is different, image size will be different. If object size is here 4 centimeter, then image size will be 2 centimeters. If object size is 100 centimeter, image size will be 50 centimeters because it's reduced to half. So this is an interesting point to explain image formation when the spherical mirror cut along the principal axis and the two pieces are displaced perpendicular to principal axis. Of course, your question might be, what is the vertical distance between the two images? What is the vertical distance separation between the two images? Because you have two images now due to the two pieces. What is the distance separation? 1 plus 2, 3 plus 1, 4 plus half, 4.5 centimeters will be the vertical distance separation between the two images. This is the interesting logic that you can explain. So, this is a completely a numerical question. Yes. Shall I give you the clarity with question once? Yes, the solution is there on the board. I am giving clarity with question. Hope you can write even. A concave mirror of focal length 10 centimeter is taken. An object is placed at 30 centimeter in front of the concave mirror. Now the concave mirror is cut into two pieces along the principal axis and they are taken perpendicular to the principal axis so that 2 centimeter vertically up and the other is 1 centimeter vertically down. Then calculate the image positions and also distance separation between the two images. Then this is the solution. Hope you got clarity. As they are taken perpendicular to the principal axis, their principal axes are different. As the object is placed at the same position without disturbing, image positions will be same. Horizontal distance of image in both cases remains the same. Since focal length same, object position is same. But as they have different principal axes of their own, the size of objects will be different, and moreover in one case if it falls below the principal axis, in another case it falls above the principal axis. So that's a detailed part of the calculation. So this is how the concept of cutting of a spherical mirror can be dealt. You may get wondered. So the two pieces are taken perpendicular to principal axis after cutting. If they were displaced along the principal axis, yes, we will discuss. This is the case where the two pieces are taken away perpendicular to principal axis after cutting. Now we discuss if they are taken away along the principal axis, then how to discuss the concept. Yes, we will discuss once and all down. Once look at this here. So here there is a spherical mirror like in the earlier case. Object is at 30 centimeter in front of the mirror and the image will be 15 centimeter. And at the same time, as you cut the spherical mirror into two pieces along with the principal axis, their focal length remains same as 10 centimeter only. There is no doubt. But here the very interesting point is, after cutting the spherical mirror into two pieces, the pieces are separated along with the principal axis. Have you seen here? The two pieces are separated by a distance, but the distance separation is along the principal axis by 10 centimeter. They are apart from each other by 10 centimeter, so that they will have a common principal axis. They will have a common principal axis, but the object distance will be different from each piece. As the first piece supposed to be at the same place, and the second piece is taken along the principal axis by 10 centimeter, then the first piece will find object at 30 centimeters, and the image location will be 15 centimeter away, because the focal length remains same as 10 centimeters. This same calculation. But for the second piece, the object distance is going to be minus 40 centimeters, because the horizontal distance of object from the pole is 30 plus 10, 40 centimeters. With the focal length minus 10 centimeters, concave mirror, so focal length negative. Then your calculation part 1 by V plus 1 by U equal to 1 by F. So that 1 by V plus 1 by U minus 40 equal to 1 by F minus 1. Then here it is 1 by V equal to plus 1 by 40 minus 1 by 10. Then here it is going to be 40, 1 time 1 minus 4 times. So that V is equal to 40 by minus 3, means minus 40 by 3. Minus 40 by 3 means approximately 13.33 centimeters. From second piece. So from the second piece, your image distance is going to be 13.33. Here to here already 10. So here to here 3.33 centimeters more here to here. Because this is already 10. So here it is second image location. So as the first object distance remains 30 centimeter, first image will be due to the first piece will be at 15 centimeter away. But due to the second piece, as object distance varies to 40 centimeter, your image distance from the second piece, because image distance means always calculated from the mirror, 13.33 centimeters. Here to here 10 already, so here to here 3.33. Now there will be some horizontal distance separation. Here to here 15, here to here 13.33. If you wish to know this horizontal distance separation between the two images, then your answer can be 15 minus 3.33 centimeters. Then you will come to know this horizontal distance separation between the two images. So this is how the things can be handled. This is a different example. Earlier the same data, but earlier the two pieces are taken away perpendicular to principal axis. But here the two pieces are separated along the principal axis. That's only the difference what you need to identify. Hope you got a clarity on the concept of cutting of a spherical mirror and in what way the combination can be handled and the image positions can be explained. So this is all about the concept of spherical mirrors, and here I am going to tell you this is the last class on the concept of spherical mirrors and the reflection of them and the image formation in the concepts of spherical mirrors. So this is the last class, and even I share you little more numerical applications based on all this content. A worksheet will be sent to you on spherical mirrors. You try your level best so that I will explain also. So I will introduce the next topic in optics. I will give you just a brief introduction that what we are going to discuss at 9th standard of optics. Hope it is clear with the reflection of light on plane mirrors and spherical mirrors. In detail we dealt including the graphical analysis also. Hope you can do your level best. Take care.